Hey. Hey! Hey! Did you see that?
Picture this. It's dinner at the Griffin household, a sacred time for philosophical debates such as, how many peanuts in your peanut make it a peanut jackpot? Lois, however, is serving trauma-infused casseroles, hand-delivered by Bonnie during an earlier crisis.
I just defrosted one of the casseroles Bonnie left on our porch after my foot got infected.
Most of our meals are donated stews born of trauma.
The smell of despair and freezer burn wafts through the air, setting the mood for an intimate family bonding experience. As Meg shares her experience at school about how a whole beaker of chemicals almost blew up in her face. Chris, meanwhile, shares his tale of woe from school, where his body decided to betray him mid-book report.
Okay, next up is Chris Griffin.
But instead of delving into Tom Sawyer, young Griffin courageously takes the stage with a lyrical homage to Rush's moving pictures. The result? A performance so misaligned that even Google would file it under I don't know, man. Chris decided to sneak out and move away forever, as he can't take the humiliation at school anymore.
Chris Griffin, please report to Woodshop.
Stop it.
I'll stop when they stop laughing. My approval rating is through the roof, just like Chris Griffin's rod.
Cue Brian, who decides the best way to salvage Chris's dignity is time travel, obviously. He reveals that, thanks to the universal power of Legos, he and Stewie have whipped up a fully functional time machine. Forget Harvard, this is the kind of ingenuity every parent brags about. Meanwhile, Peter's subplot unfolds in true Griffin fashion. Between miniature golf shenanigans and debates on Congress's taco agenda, Peter and the gang prove that Tuesdays aren't just for tacos, they're for low-stakes gambling and deep dives into irrelevant politics. By the way, Joe, as the shill for Big Taco, feels like the hard-hitting journalism we need. Later that night, Peter and the gang continue their side-splitting escapades involving scratch-off tickets and ever-escalating absurdity. As Joe suggests everyone put their money together to buy scratch-offs, this is a good way to cap off their Tuesdays guys' night. But Peter refuses to join in the fun. He would rather spend his money on a tightly curled horoscope scroll. It turns out Joe's suggestion was good, as they won $120. Meanwhile, Peter's horoscope came out good as well. It warns him to close his search tab before his big presentation at work the following day.
Yeah, let me just, okay, yeah, I don't know how that, just give me 1 second here. As I was saying, third quarter. I apologize for the slight, a mini-mart scroll warned of this. I'll clean up my desk.
Amid all this chaos, Brian and Chris gear up for a timeline do-over. Hilariously undermined by Stewie, who's still salty over a wrench misstep.
Brian's gonna let me use his time machine to redo my book report.
Oh, is that right? And how exactly is Brian going to do that? With his time machine? Hey, I handed you a wrench. Yeah, the wrong wrench. Just stay away from it.
Later that night, chaos unfolds as Brian decides to defy Stewie's warnings and use the time machine to help Chris fix a humiliating school book report. Because who listens to Stewie, right? He's only a baby with a penchant for evil and sophisticated machinery. Predictably, Brian and Chris's foray into time travel quickly devolves into chaos, as the machine activates self-destruct countdown due to DNA mismatch.
Gold's Gym.
Mykonos.
Oh, I know. Fabulous. Fab. Totally fab. Go bitch. Whatever, bitch. Love you, bitch.
Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes, queen.
Password entries, so random, they sound like rejected contestants from The Bachelor. This is Pete Griffin ingenuity, where disaster isn't just possible, it's inevitable. However, the plan takes a hilariously incompetent turn, leading them 16 hours into the past, directly to their own house instead of Chris's school.
Hold on, I thought we were gonna time travel to my school, not to our house.
Oh yeah, I just plugged in what was on the tag on my collar. That's the only address I know.
Of course! When their attempt to land at Chris's school results in a return trip to their own house, Brian and Chris make the totally rational decision to bet on sports using their foreknowledge of the outcomes. Except they possess no actual foreknowledge. Seriously? Trying to bet on WNBA games without even knowing the team names? It's like attempting to predict the weather using an Etch-a-Sketch. Meanwhile, in the B-plot, Cleveland's winnings go toward an Ozempic transformation, which might have transformed him into skinny Jonah Hill. Joe also got a cassette.
Say, guys, I forget. How many people does it take to make a thing go right?
I think you knew the answer.
Thanks to those lucky scratchers, I just bought Now That's What I Call Music, Volume 12.
Quagmire shows off the new belt he got from TJ Maxx sales with his share of the scratch-off money, but Peter turns bitter as he has nothing. Back at school, future Chris manages to intercept past Chris just in time for a hilariously flaccid second attempt at the book report.
Are you me?
Look, there's not much time. We're from the future. Well, your future, our present.
Let me stop you right there. I'm 100% fine with whatever this is. I just go where I'm told.
The cherry on top, though, is Chris's redo of his book report, a presentation so bland it might inspire Tom Sawyer himself to pick up a roller and start painting fences for real. Chris's riveting analysis, books contain paper. The end. It's the kind of literary insight that would make an audiobook narrator weep. His uninspired presentation on Tom Sawyer is enough to earn him a fail. But hey, at least he avoided public embarrassment this time, right? Sort of. Meanwhile, in present time, the gang gathers at the clam for their celebratory feast. As Quagmire shows off the reversible belt he got from TJ Maxx.
Quagmire, I see you're wearing a brown belt today. Did you buy another one?
Nope, same belt. Reversible.
That just blew my damn mind.
Belts are reversible, men are becoming women. I'm kind of getting into it. What's this world coming to?
Evening, gentlemen. Thought I'd offer some...
Peter becomes obsessed with claiming the exclusive winter shrimp offered to them by Jerome. His laser focus remains on one goal, winning those elusive airborne shrimp. The man literally schemes up suction cups and carabiners while robbing the mini-mart for all the scratch-off tickets to claim his crustacean prize. Who knew shrimp could spark such competitive rage? Meanwhile, Brian and Chris grapple with the unintended consequences of their unauthorized use of Stewie's time machine on their return.
You're probably mad we took the time machine without asking, but trust me, there's nothing to worry about. You sure about that?
Oh, sorry, little guy. Mom thinks it'll help the swelling from the burns if I put some of your diaper...
It turns out, Meg was only able to avoid the chemical explosion in the lab class she talked about earlier because of laughter distractions from the other class caused by Chris' full-mast moment during the book report. From awkward conversations about embarrassing physical side effects of time travel to chaotic plans to save Meg's dignity, they discover that even temporal meddling can't fix everything. Instead, Brian delivers a heartfelt message. Life's awkward moments are the building blocks of an interesting future. Meanwhile, Peter is in his own subplot of lunacy, seemingly auditioning for the role of a chaotic car salesman, with lines like sandy shoes and speedometer as excuses for his late-night escapades.
Peter, it's the middle of the night. What the hell are you doing?
Having an affair?
What? With who?
You don't know her. Her name is... Sandy Shoes.
By the end of his performance, Peter has mastered the art of turning nonsensical rambling into Oscar-worthy absurdity. Even Lois is left bewildered, half believing Peter's affair might be with their family sedan. Peter, reeling from his scratch-off ticket woes, embarks on a series of misadventures that get him jailed after the robbery.
Mr. Griffin, you're under arrest for...
I know. How'd you find me?
The store security camera caught you checking your height against the door jam sticker.
I'm afraid I'm shrinking. We're gonna measure again at the jail, though, right?
The real heart of the episode lies in Chris's double book report fiasco, as Stewie, Chris, and Brian travel back to the past to undo their previous mistake.
We lock up the Chris who successfully gave his report without incident. Flaccid Chris. Yes, ew, gross, but yes. And then we restore the laughter that will distract Meg by releasing the original Chris from the custodial closet. Turgid Chris. You think you're clever, but you're not clever.
And just when you think the bar couldn't drop lower, the past Chris emerges from the custodial closet, muttering romantic odes to Lola Bunny. The turgid Chris has already masturbated. Because when chaos meets confinement, Griffin logic dictates that cartoon rabbits are irresistibly seductive. Since that's the case, Stewie turns to flaccid Chris from previous time travel, but it turns out he has already masturbated while they were talking about Lola Bunny as well.
I, too, masturbated.
What? Oh, for God's sake! Damn it! We're running out of time to save Meg. Chris, we've got less than 1 minute to get you aroused.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
The cherry on top is the team's desperate attempt to get the present-time Chris ready for the final book report redo at full mast. The motivational tactics range from 19th century heiress fantasies to Brazilian volleyball YouTube searches, and one of the most hilariously awkward fatherly pep talks ever. Nothing screams bonding quite like trying to get Chris inspired for a public book report redo.
You guys stop. I'll just type in Lauren Boebert, mutual groping, vaping in public Beetlejuice. Oh, you kind of sexy liar. I'm ready.
The real comedy gold lies in Peter's misguided attempts at redemption. Peter, in his quest to feel like a winner, gets a heartfelt intervention from his pals, who bail him out of jail for the grand price of $15, together with Joe's dirty cop intervention.
I hope you can forgive me for acting so crazy.
Of course we do, Peter.
Wait a second. You got me out of jail for only $15 after I committed a robbery?
Well, I pulled a few strings. Kind of an easy sell to the chief because you're white.
Their reasoning? He's already won at life, with a family, a semi-functional bathroom window, and apparently an unlimited supply of Angela White jokes. A feel-good moment wrapped in Griffin brand chaos. In the end, the Griffins prove once again that no problem can be solved without turning it into a circus act. Whether it's diaper cream, failed gambles, or baffling romance tropes, they remind us that dignity is overrated when hilarity is on the table.
Are we for sure in the clear? How's Meg?
Mom, have you seen Meg?
Yeah, she went to the store
Well, I'm sure she's fine.
to pick up some ointment
Uh-oh.
for her vagina.